Um, we got a new format, I guess. Well, what's good with everybody? Hope everybody's having a wonderful what's today? Thursday. You already know here at work decided to hop on, chop it up with individuals, see what's the talk of the town is going down, the word on the curve. We right here, like always, slaving away. So my lunch break decided to see what's cracking with folks. Let me just set this up real quick. Now, here in Southern California, we are still in the midst of all the fires that's going around. Um, you know, tough times for people out there. I wish them the best, man. It's crazy out there, but it is what it is. What's cracking like an angel? What you getting yourself into, my boy? You already know down here, bro. We just dealing with these fires, bro. These fires. Shit be crazy over here. Everything's on fire. Shit's burning to the ground. The roof is on fire. And I heard that it's 0% contained still, so it's like, fuck, is it ever gonna get contained? What up, Ishi, brosha? Why you start the fire for? Nah, I wonder who did start the fires. They said it was some kids. I don't know if that's true or not, but damn, that's crazy if they did. That's a lot of damage that they caused. That's a whole lot of fucking fires and fucked up shit going on. What's cracking, Lucky Mr. Pasa's definitely up in the casa. Hey, I hope all is well where you're at, my boy. I know that the fire's getting close. So, I hope everything's good with you, carnal. Chilling in a coffee shop, staying warm up here. It's cold. Oh, that's right, my boy. That's cool. That's cool. Well, that's cold now. Yeah, I feel you. Right here, it's hot as fuck now with these fires. It's supposed to be cold, but shit, we got fucking ashes raining everywhere and embers everywhere. Está cabrón, carnal. Está cabrón. The fire should still continue. Stop throwing your cigarettes buzz out the window. Serio, I don't even smoke cigarettes. I fucking hate the way cigarettes smell. But nah, yeah, that's just crazy, bro. Because, that shit is definitely got out of control, The winds are not helping the situation either. I think that the winds got better, so I think that they're using new tactics now to tackle the fires. I don't know if it's like too late already, if it already got too out of control. That shit is even starting to spread to fucking Universal Studios. So, está cabrón. Is it possible that the government is behind starting the fight? Nah. No. In order for the government to be behind, stuff like that, there would have to be too many people on board in order for this plan to work, right? Like too many people have to be on the agenda, and you already know with this, especially now in this generation, right? You're just not going to be able to keep people quiet, bro, especially if they start to worry that, people are starting to look into it or they might suspect them, then they're going to spill the beans, bro. They're just not going to stay quiet. They're just not. You're not going to be able to keep these people silent, And that is going to be the downfall of, trying to do an inside job like that, right? That too many people have to be on board and loose lips sink ships, bro. And I doubt any of these individuals are going to want to take that type of risk for something that's not going to gain them anything. Like, what are they going to get out of it? You feel me? Like, whenever people think of plus like that, people always have to think of what are the individuals getting out of doing something like this? Or like, what exactly is the rewards, the gains? Because there has to be a gains to your plan. If not, then then it would be pointless, right? Like, you're risking so much to gain so little back. You feel me? Like, these guys are risking their jobs, their freedom, and for what? To gain what in return? It has to be, better than what you have now in order for you to risk it all. Because then it wouldn't make absolutely no sense. You feel me? Like, people always give like these, like important individuals, the dumbest jobs, right? Because they're like, well, what exactly were they looking to gain out of that, though? Like, they risk so much to gain what in return, though? If you're gonna risk so much, the price must be really good, If not, fuck is the point? Like the people that kill people who have life insurance, they're risking the murder because they're about to get all that money in return, like millions of dollars, like money that they would never be able to get, right? So they take that risk. It's a big risk, but the reward is, high. So why would these individuals risk something like that if the reward? But what is the reward, though? You feel me? People never think about that aspect when they talk about like conspiracy theories, right? but because that's their negative view towards the government, right? That is like, well, what about this? Like, who gives a fuck about that? But like, well, we live in the real world where stuff has to make sense, my boy. People just don't do shit for absolutely no reason. You feel me? I get it in the movies. They don't gotta have a plot to it. The real world, there has to be reasons, bro. Hey, bro, what's up? What's crying like in my boy? What you getting yourself into, carnal? Yo, maybe you maybe light fire. Your deal Trump starting the fire. Nah, he's gonna put them out, bro. He's got the answers to everything. If Donald Trump was in office right now, he would be. If I was in office, this wouldn't be happening right now. Those fires would have been put out like that, like that. And you know, I don't play around. I don't mess around. Those fires wouldn't have even started. I would have gone over there and just looked the fire in the eye, and they would have just. But Sleepy Joe sleeping on the job, so that's why the fire's out of control. You guys already know. As soon as I take office, those fires wouldn't even dare to start. They wouldn't even have the guts to start. USA, what's cracking like in my boy? Shout out to Diamond Street. Tired today. My one scene from Godfather. This was my first week of second semester of college, taking classes of computer science. All right, that's good, my boy. Hope everything's going good for you, carnal. Wish you the best. Salutes to all the firefighters that are out there holding it down. Yeah, serio. Shout out to all them firefighters. That shit's crazy because, you know, you could lose your job, you know? Well, your life, actually. You know, caught in the fire, breathing all that fucking toxic fumes. It's not easy. You know, putting yourself in that kind of, you know, environment. Ta cabrón. Inside job. It's karma, bro. I'm shopping at Target here. Have snow tomorrow, so everyone is stocking up on supplies. All right. Oh, yeah, you guys get those when you're snowed in, huh? And that's crazy. Well, every area is going to have its problems to it, no? Here, fires, over there, snow, fucking hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, tsunamis, salamis, what? You know, they shut water lines off so firefighters can't stop fires, right? Okay, let's say they did do that, right? But what would be the purpose of that, though? Like, why exactly would they do that for, though? Like, why, though? And remember, everything has to have a why to it, right? There's a reason to everything. People just don't do stuff just because. That doesn't exist. Everything has a reason to it, right? Even these serial killers that said that they just killed because, right? As soon as they were interviewed and they got to the bottom of stuff, you started to see that no, they had reasons to it. They just didn't realize that they had a reason to it. Because people just don't do shit for absolutely no reason. You know? Like, there's a reason why they were killing people that, you know, similarly look alike, right? Because if not, like, why didn't you just kill anybody? Or why was it just women, not men? You know, but there was a reason to their madness, though. It wasn't just because, you know, or why they were all similar in age, you know? They just thought that it was just because they were just killing. But it's like, no, everything has a reason to it, bro. People just don't do shit just because. That doesn't exist. You know, there's a root to every problem. It's just finding what that root is. The insurance companies cancel fire protections, homeowners, lots of their homes. So you gotta believe. See, I believe somebody would put, you know, some insurance like that and set their homes on fire, right? And that house burning down. That makes sense, right? But to say like they're gonna try to burn the city to the ground, though, that like, but why? And that would be a reason itself, right? Like this person wanted to get insurance money, so he did this, so he's the cause of the fire. So that is the reason for the fires, right? But that would be the cause of the fire. So everything has, like I said, everything has a reason to it. But to say that it would be the government, though, like people always say the government, but it's like, but who in the government? They say like the government, like if the government is one person, when it's not, you know, it's multiple people, multiple fields. So it's like, but like who in this government, though? It's like, it's the government. Like if the government just is one super villain, huh? It's just that everything has so many procedures to it. In order for you to get shit done, you have to go through this, through that, through that. So a lot of people will have to know about what you're trying to do, you know? And it's just trying to keep everybody quiet. That it's just like, that's the reason why we find out about everything, bro. Because people can't keep their mouth shut. Even the CIA, who's top, secrecy and shit like that, we even found out their scandals because they couldn't keep all their motherfuckers' mouth shut. You know what I mean? People are just gonna want to talk to save their asses. You know? And they're the most secretest of secretest motherfuckers. Like, people are like, oh, no, there's like the secrecy, it's like this hidden agenda. Like, if the agenda would be a hidden agenda or a secrecy, then how the fuck do you know about it? You feel me? Like, it's like when they say even the Illuminati, right? Like, it's the secrecy, right? Like when they talk about the Illuminati and the secrecy behind the Illuminati and everything like that. But yet, there's symbols everywhere, right? Like, oh, look, you see the symbol right here. You see the symbol right there. They slow down videos. They're doing it in handshakes. They're throwing it in signs with their fingers. And it's like, for a group that's supposed to be secretive, they're doing a whole lot of shit that's not secretive. Right? And it's like, if it was able to stay secret for this long, but yet they're flashing signs live on TV and have symbols everywhere, and it's like, and their goal is to be secret, then why the fuck are they doing all of this for then? Isn't that the opposite of secrecy? It's almost like they want to get caught, or what the fuck? Like, bro, like, you're contradicting yourself right there, my guy. Like, do you not see that? Do you not see how you're not making any sense right now? It's crazy, bro. But then they want to dismiss all the questions when you ask, like, well, what about this, or wouldn't it not make sense? And they're like, nah, bro, see, you're just one of these people that just falls into the government's fucking lies. And it's like, why are you getting mad, bro? I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just like curious because these are valid questions. So I'm just asking, so why are you getting irritated for? Like, are you getting mad because you're realizing it's not making sense, bro? How's that my fault? Like, I'm not trying to dismiss what you're saying or to like shred your shit into pieces. I'm curiously want to know, like, well, what about this, and this? See, when you talk about like people that are believers, right, in anything, whether religion and stuff like that, they hear the information, but they tend not to ask the why or how. You feel me? Like, they just believe whatever they're being told. But it's like, well, these questions are important, right? So when you start asking the why and the how, then these people's fucking delusion starts to fall apart. Most people don't ask those questions. They just believe what they're being told. Those are followers. You always want to ask those questions because they're important questions and they're valid questions. Not like you're being an asshole about it. Because if you naturally hate government, if you, for whatever reason, right, like you just dislike the government, any conspiracy that comes your way or somebody that tells you something negative towards the government, you're going to believe it without even asking any questions like, oh, no, but how or why? You're just going to be like, yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, it makes sense. Right? Because you already have a dislike towards, or when somebody dislikes an individual and you dislike that individual too, and they tell you now a bunch of lies about that person, you start to believe it without even questioning it because you dislike that person. So it's so easy to jump on board to what they're saying. Doesn't make it true, though. They could have been fabricated. But because you dislike that person so much as well, you didn't even tend to question it. And it's never good to do that. That's how you get a bunch of people to be followers. It's always important to ask questions. What's cracking, like, Derek? What you getting yourself into, my boy? Karma is fake. Yeah, I actually made a video talking about that, right? Like, what is actually karma, right? That karma doesn't exist. It really doesn't. Like, oh, see, that person was a bad person, and everything came to bite him in the ass. Like, well, yeah, because human behavior, bro. If somebody's naturally an asshole and a piece of shit type of person, right, it's only a matter of time before he burns all his bridges, right? Because, he did everybody dirty, that now he has nobody to turn to or nobody to now to ask for that favor. That's when the world starts crashing down. But that's not because of karma. That's because of his behavior. That's human behavior. That's all because, he's an asshole type of person. When you're a negative person and an asshole type of person, what are you going to draw? Negative attention, because positive people don't want to be around somebody who's negative, right? And negative people, because these people views line, negative people tend to hang out with negative people, right? So you're going to get no rewards out of that type of behavior. So it's only a matter of time before that shit all comes crashing down. And that's not karma. That's because of your fucking negative behavior. It's not like, oh, when people be like, all of a sudden they change, their friendship, group, or the way they think, right? And all of a sudden now positive things start happening in their life. That's not a miracle and stuff like that. Is that positive people tend to hang around positive people, right? So these people that are more humble and tend to want to help you compared to the group of friends or the group of people you had around you before, right? Because negative people don't tend to have those traits. That's the reason why everything starts to go right for you now that switch to being this way. But that's not because some grand miracle or God is rewarding you now. That's because of human behavior, human interaction. You get what I'm saying? It's not a coincidence that why that happens. Unless they found or some high price raw. But trials, tribulations are real. Facts! Happened to Hollywood karma. I mean, I think the terrain has something to do with it as well, no? I mean, hills and, grassy hills and shit like that. I mean, wouldn't that you would see to tend to have fires more than, down here where it's like there's hardly any of that? You're able to, the chances of, if you have two homes, right? Two houses. One is made out of wood and leaves, and the other one's made out of cement. The chances of the wooden house with leaves catching on fire than the cement one catching on fire is a lot higher. But I wouldn't say that that's karma, right? More about gangster rappers rap about choosing the life. Why they be saying they choose because he's received all kinds of stuff and want money, women, cars, jewelry. The reason why they tend to, rap about that is because they think that that's what people want to hear. It, that's the formula of rap because that has always been the formula of rap, right? So they think that that's what people want to hear. They think that that's what they have to say, right? So that's why they choose to rap like that. And then they get exposed, right? That they really weren't about that life, right? But they went about it that way because they think that that's what the culture wanted to hear. They think that that's what makes rap when that's not true. But you know, hello, rice bag. Karma ain't real. God, wrath, his trials and tribulations. Well, see me, I just believe in just human behavior and just how things are, like how things work naturally, right? That's just what I believe, right? Like I said, I'm not here to, everyone has a different belief. I just feel like that's just how it works and why it works like that. It's just human interaction, human behavior, just how humans, tend to work. If it's like speaking on behalf of themselves and creating delusions for youth into thinking that is reward. But I don't feel like that's their goal, right? I feel like they're just rapping and they feel like that's what people want to hear. But I don't think that their goal is to influence people or to draw people into that kind of lifestyle. You feel me? I don't think that it goes that deep. I don't think that they give it that much thought. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this music hoping that I would continue the problem, right? That the problem will continue going, right? Or I would be recruiting people like that. I don't feel like that's their actual angle. Because I don't think that they give it that much thought. Personally, I really don't think that they care all that much. Don't the Hindu beliefs like and apply them to mass shooters and serial killers do things for no reason. At least some of no, they all have reasons to them. Like if you ever look up any serial killer or mass shooter and you look at why they did the things that they did, there was always a reason to why they did it, right? Now, to other people, those reasons may not be valid, right? Like, well, that's no reason to do those evil acts. Yes, we know it's stupid and stuff like that. And to you, maybe it's not such a big problem like that, but everybody is different. Everybody thinks different. And not everybody could handle stress and pressures and all of that, like other people. Like other people are really good with stress and issues, right? Like it doesn't phase them as much as other people, right? There's some people that work good under pressure. There's some people that really can't handle pressure at all, at all. We are all different in the way we think and how we view things and see things, right? There's some people that need help in order to get through through some tough times. There's some other people that could do it on their own, that with no problem. We are just all different, right? So while some problems to some people may not seem that big, to that person they could be, gigantic. But like I said, we are just all emotionally different, right? So while to other people it may not seem like a big deal, to that person it may have been all the deal in the world, right? And enough reason for them to do what they do, right? Even when we're talking about suicide or any type of shit like that, right? We have to understand that, you know, some problems to some people are really that big, even though to others they'll be like, well, it really wasn't that much of a big deal. Like, well, yeah, to you, but not to them. Kind of like we all have stuff that we like, right? Like, for whatever nostalgia value or whatever, right? Like maybe this song or this movie or maybe a personal item, right? There's some women that just love some stuffed animals, right? Or some guys, the car or a baseball card or some shit like that, right? That to other people, it's like, what's the big deal, bro? It's just an item. But to that person, that item means way more, right? For whatever reason, whatever significant reason it has to them, right? Maybe their father gave it to them, maybe their grandparents, maybe, but they hold some type of emotional attachment to that item. To other people, it's like, it's just a fucking piece of junk. But to that person, it could be all the reasons in the world, right? Of why to, want this item or protect this item or whatever, right? Whatever value it holds to that individual. But everybody has different, and where they put their values, emotions, and all of that into, right? And I think people tend to sometimes just ignore that or dismiss that, right? And that's the reason, you get a lot of people disagreeing or a lot of people fighting over shit that I guess you can see as pointless, right? It's like they don't see it from their perspective or they don't want to see it from their perspective. It's crazy, actually, really. In the youth, did you get, wait, in your youth, did you get, whoops, did you get normal people who were related or friends or enemies hating or giving you a hard time? And is that normal? Yeah, you get people that give you a hard time. Is that normal? No, it's not normal. But does it happen? Yes, it does happen everywhere. Especially with kids. Kids don't hold back, right? So they don't know no better. So if a kid is not shown any better and he has destructive behaviors, then they tend to lash out to their peers at school or whatever, right? Insulting them, maybe treating them cruel or whatever reason, right? And since people don't want to be targeted, right? It's sheep behavior, right? Like, so they just go along with this individual because they don't want to be targeted, right? So then that's where you get the group of individuals bullying one person. Maybe they all don't see it like that, but just because they don't want the attention now being targeted to them, they're gonna agree with the person who's doing the bad behavior. You know. Could you imagine living in a state where snow, where I'm at, I only snow, maybe? No, actually, no. I mean, it would be nice, but I just never gave it no thought. Not enough people understand what's happening. Yeah, that's true too. You know. Why you get mad when I call you on your lights? Oh, see, we're having some disagreement. It's just the internet, guys. Let it not get to you. You know. I have a hard time telling if people in my life is out of care or. Oh, okay. I feel what you're saying. Like, how could you tell people are being genuine with what they're saying or if they're being sarcastic? Hmm. Um, I'll get at you through an email, my boy, and we'll have that conversation there. Do you have hate government or do you hate government or not, Shadow? Do you think we need more freedom in America then? Um, I believe that our government needs work to it. Do I believe our government sucks, ass and is the worst government out there? No. America's great. America, is one of the greatest countries in the world, right? But it is not perfect, right? And there is a lot of things that it could still improve on, right? But to say that it's like the worst or not, nah, I wouldn't say that either. Like I believe that in the government you have good individuals, right? Good people that are looking to actually do good things, right? People with good hearts, right? And I also believe the government has individuals that are just assholes who don't give a fuck, who everything is just a financial gain for them or a financial move and really don't give a fuck about its people. I feel like you just have a mixture of both in it, right? And that's why you have this chaotic scene, right? Because obviously they're not going to agree with those people. And that's where you get this fucking, how can I say this, dysfunction, right? So our government does need work. When I say it's the worst, nah. So I wouldn't say that our government, is like the worst, but I wouldn't say it's the best either. He a Mexican or a Mexicant? Only trust yourself. Karma doesn't exist, but your thoughts do create your reality. Facts. The way you behave is going to play a factor in, what happens around you, right? It's kind of like when I say also like in this world, you have freedom of speech. You have the freedom to say whatever you want, right? That's freedom of speech. Now, just because you have that freedom doesn't mean you should just say, any reckless thing, though, right? As an adult, you should already know how to have conversations with individuals, right? Like, it's crazy to me that people be like, they say the most negative thing. They insult somebody's religion, ethnicity, whatever the reason may be. And then they'll be like, well, shit, it's a free country. I got to say whatever the fuck I want. Like, yes, this is true, my boy. But why be negative? Why try to create problems, though? Like, as an adult, you should be able to know how to talk to people. You feel me? Like, that's what it is to be an adult. Like, knowing how to have conversation. That you can't talk to the youth, right? They don't know no better, right? So they're not able to have, a grown-up discussion with you, right? But you as an adult, the fact that you're behaving like a child is crazy, right? Like, if you can't get your point across without insulting the person you're talking to, then you have no right in having any discussions at all. That's the whole point of being an adult. You're able to give your thoughts, your point of view without having to insult the other side, bro. No one's saying you have to agree with them, but no one says you have to insult them either, bro. You know? Just because I have the right to say, fuck you doesn't mean I should say fuck you. You feel me? Yeah, you could behave however you want. Doesn't mean you should be an asshole, though. God is a cloud chaser who claims to. I don't know. Yeah. Do you think Gunner's videos is gonna help the raza? He says, nah, but it's something that works for him. It's the formula that seems to work for him. So obviously, he's gonna do what he does, because it works, right? But I don't feel like that's his angle. But like I said, he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do, regardless of the facts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.